morning and welcome to the Veterans Voice. My name is Joe Armstrong. I'm the president of Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 1044, based in Sanford, and I will be your host today. We have a very special guest with us today, Miss Susan GOULD, a VISTA volunteer with the Southern Maine Agency on Aging. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning.
Welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me.
So, Sue, what exactly is the Southern Maine Agency on Aging and where are they located?
Well, we're located at 136 U.S. Route 1 in Scarborough. Southern Maine Agency on Aging got its start with the Older Americans Act back in the 70s. It's been around for over 40 years now.
Wow.
And our goal is to create better days for older people in York and Cumberland counties.
Well, I think that's a very important issue. So how did you get involved with the agency?
A friend of mine, actually she's my supervisor, and she started the idea behind the program I'm working on, and she recruited me basically for the position. Mm-hmm. She told me about it, and I applied and was hired, and I'm very happy I was.
Well, it sounds like the right person for the right job.
Thank you.
Now, we know you're a VISTA volunteer. What exactly is a VISTA volunteer, and what do you do as a volunteer?
Okay, well, VISTA got its start a long time ago, too, in the 60s. We're celebrating the 50th anniversary.
Wow.
It's the domestic version of Peace Corps.
Okay, yeah, I'm very familiar with that.
People volunteer for a year or more. You can sign up again, too, but it's a year's term. You get they call it a poverty wage. It's a stipend just to see you through, but it's more or less a volunteer position for a year to assist various organizations in helping people in the United States.
Okay, now VISTA, correct me if I'm wrong, Volunteers in Service to America?
That's correct.
Okay,
yes.
I do remember. See, I'm not as, I may be getting old, but my memory's there somewhat. I understand the agency has a new program called Veterans Helping Veterans. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, this is the position. This is the main part of my service this year. It's called Vet to Vet, Veterans Helping Veterans. My supervisor, Carol Rancourt, came up with the idea. We're recruiting veterans to be volunteers, to be friendly visitors to other veterans who are isolated, who are aging, or who have disabilities.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there. Unfortunately, a lot of them get overlooked because they're recluse or anything, and I think what your agency is doing is fantastic. Is there any formal training for the volunteers?
Yes, we have 9 hours of training. It's pretty rigorous, over 3 days.
Oh, wow.
We just graduated our first team of volunteers.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We have 14 of them, and they're trained in all kinds of things, active listening skills. They're trained to assess situations, to see if other services might be needed, and they're trained where to refer the veterans that they're visiting to those other services. We've had a lot of support from the veterans community in devising this.
That's awesome. Is there any medical training involved?
No, not medical training per se, just so that they can recognize situations and know where to refer them. And they can refer them back to our agency or to the VA, the Maine Veteran Services.
Why did you decide to use veterans only?
Well, we felt that there's been a lot of research done on peer-to-peer groups and the strength of that connection, and we felt that veterans would have a better connection with older veterans or veterans with disabilities. Okay.
Now, is this restricted to just older veterans for volunteering, or are you accepting the younger Iraqi, Afghanistan type veterans?
Oh, we're accepting veterans of all ages. Our volunteers range from the 20s to the 80s.
Wow.
So we have a very broad group.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
And the same is true of the veterans that they will be visiting. A younger veteran who might have a disability or might be isolated for whatever reason can also participate in the program as someone who gets a visitor.
Great.
And we have older ones too.
Excuse me. I know prior to the show we were talking about women veterans. You have any women veteran volunteers or clients?
We do. We have both.
That's fantastic.
We have a woman who's volunteering, and we have a woman who she will be visiting.
That is fantastic.
Yes, so we're very pleased.
If you're a woman veteran, and you are a veteran if you served, please don't hesitate to contact Sue or her agency. They're doing a wonderful job.
We're asking anyone who served in the military.
Anyone in the military. Okay, so it doesn't have to be combat. It doesn't have to be.
It does not.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. What has been the response to your program so far?
We've had fabulous response. Originally, times are tough as far as funding, so originally we had asked our volunteers to contribute $25 each toward their background checks.
Okay.
And as soon as the AMVETS post number 2 in Yarmouth heard that, they stepped forward and gave us a contribution to cover all of our volunteers.
That's fantastic. Doc Simone, I think, is the commander up there.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a great man.
Yes,
Great
so we were
organization.
extremely pleased with that generosity. We've also had wonderful support from the community. During our training, it was held from 5 to 8 at night. We had we fed them, of course, because we don't want them to starve to death.
Yeah.
And we had all kinds of restaurants and other people step forward. Jimmy the Greeks, Pat's Pizza,
Oh, my goodness.
mainly wraps.
Wow.
Vincenza's in Saco,
Yep.
they all came forward and contributed
Wow, that's
food
great.
for our veterans. So
Well,
we
I
were
think,
very
I
pleased.
think now that you mentioned food, I think we're going to have a lot of volunteers. I know myself, I'll be there, not just for the food, though.
Oh, and Lois's, I don't want to miss anybody, but and Hannaford's, we've had so much support. Anytime I ask for support for this for this program, I get it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Again, keeping that in mind, if you know of a business that would like to volunteer either money or food or services, again, contact Sue. The number will be shown periodically during our show. Now that you have the first team of volunteers trained and ready to go, what are your plans for the future project?
Well, I'm starting recruiting all over again. We'll be having
Never endless.
we'll be having we're hoping to have our next training in September, and I'm hoping it will be in York County this time.
Okay.
So I'm looking for volunteers to participate in the program, and 14 seemed to be a good number. We started out with 20, but various reasons people dropped out. So 14 or 15 is a great number for us.
So that will be your class size,
for our
14 or
class
15.
size, and then we're also looking for people who could benefit from a visit.
Okay,
So
great.
either way, we're looking for people.
Well, if there's a veteran or someone out there that's interested in either volunteering or they know of somebody in need, how would they contact you?
Well, they can go on our website, first of all. It's www.smaa.org. That's
Okay.
3 A's.
All right.
They can go there. They can call our number, 396-6500, and I'm at extension 600, or they can just ask for the Volunteer Services Department.
Well, sounds fantastic. Obviously, this is a much-needed program,
Wow.
and we wish you the best on it. Is there anything else that you would like to tell us about the agency?
Well, the agency has all kinds of services for veterans and others as well.
Okay.
We support caregivers of older people. We provide wellness programs. There's all Tai Chi. There's a matter of balance class. There's all kinds of volunteer opportunities. We have, I could go on and on, but if you need any information, just look at our website, or you can also email me too, sgould@smaa.org.
3 A's.
3A's.org. So,
All right. Well, that's great. Well, thank you, Sue, for coming on our show and let us know about this very important agency and, more important, this very important program.
thank you so much for having me.
You're quite welcome. And thank you for watching The Veteran's Voice. On our next show, we will be discussing PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, what it is and how to file a claim, and the 5 misconceptions that are being floated around about an individual with PTSD. So until next time, my name is Joe Armstrong. Keep up the great fight. Thank you.